Hello, Mandibil here, and this is the recent update in ongoing dispute about my potential copyright infringement of Bernardo Kastrup's video series on analytic idealism. And the recent message I got directly from him, apparently not him, but through what's called EF, or which is a short for Essential Foundation, they're saying this: thank you for your email. Bernardo Kastrup cannot be reached at this address regarding your repeated reproducing of our copyrighted material in your uploaded videos. Our position has already been clarified to you and remains the same. We cannot tailor our policy to individual circumstances or subjective assessments. Oh, subjective assessment. But isn't it a subjective assessment you're doing when you're telling me about subjective assessments? There must be some kind of individual behind this. I don't think it's the spaghetti monster calling me, right? So there must be some person typing this stuff in, right? Okay. Philosophy aside. Our policy is clear, reasonable, more permissive. Oh, reasonable, that's a subjective judgment, right? That's a subjective assessment. More permissive than the law and objective. The law. Okay, now we are getting there, right? As such, we reserve the right, and listen carefully, right? As such, we reserve the right, what right? To legally enforce our copyright as per the applicable laws at the time and manner of our choosing. You persist on this infringement at your own risk. Okay, so let me be absolutely freaking clear what he's saying, right? He's saying, if you don't do as we say you should do, we are willing to have you killed by those people who call themselves the government, right? Because we don't want you, that's sort of implicit in it, right? We don't want a philosophical discourse, a complete philosophical discourse. They say you can take half of our video and argue about it, right? You can't take the whole video in the complete argument, but you could take half the argument and then argue against that, right? So they don't want the complete philosophical discourse. They want to threaten me and ultimately have me killed because of this. You understand that that's what they're saying, right? They're not saying it outright because they're fucking chickens, right? Or he is not saying it because he's a chicken. He is sort of rattling with the sabers and saying, I know some guys who are willing, or guys or girls for that matter, who are willing to have you ultimately killed for not doing as we say you should do, right? I'm not saying I'm not going to say as they do. Or do as they say, I should say, right? What I'm pointing out is they are willing to have me fucking killed for not complying with their rules. And they know apparently some dudes or dudesses who are willing to kill people on command, right? I'm just trying to point out how things are working in the so-called modern world, right? This is the level of moral corruption, you could say, right? There might be a very good reason why Bernardo Kastrup is not venturing into any idea of knowledge and certainly not any idea of morality, because he fucking needs the state in order to do things he wants to do, right? Like working for CERN, which is one big fucking welfare state for people with the hobby of, smashing atoms together, right? Or maybe, his mommy is on welfare, or his artist girlfriend, artist, they're usually communist, right? Crazy commies, protecting, being the white knight, saving women, right? And women want the welfare state, right? So, in order to protect his philosophy, he needs to appeal to murder to protect it, right? You must understand this. And that is why, but only because he's fucking threatened me with death and violence, right? In protest, I will be reducing my videos that are full representations of his videos to half the length that he wants me to do, right? That's the furthest I can go according to his rules, because me being shot for doing what I think is right philosophically is not worth it, right? It's not worth getting killed for your. Then there's nobody there to talk for your, present your arguments, right? This is the level of philosophical discord Mr. Bernardo Kastrup, he is willing to go to, right? I have so much respect for that, right? Obviously. Right? It's pathetic. It's the same as saying, I have no arguments. He's saying, I have no arguments, but I'm not going to, let you have a better argument potentially that is sort of attempting to refute my argument. So therefore, I'll bring in my violent friends to threaten you with death and violence. Right? So I am putting my videos in private mode so they can't be viewed until I've edited them down to half size, and then I will be re-uploading them. So that's just my statement. So please have patience, and I'll do my best to create as meaningful a edited version as I possibly can. But obviously things are going to be missing. And if somebody later will claim that I'm taking his arguments out of context, right? Well, then you might have an idea why he wants it only to be half length, right? Or halfling editions. Because then he can argue that, well, you're taking my argument out of context, right? There's a bigger context which it is in, right? So, well, we'll have to see what happens, right? So this is my, how I do it from now on, right? Okay, see you in the next one.